Okay, September 16th, 2010, 12:41 p.m., Jeff Hyber. Hello?
Hey, it's Alex.
Hey, Alex, sorry I missed you there, but...
I don't know, my phone was right next to me, and I got the message, but I didn't get a phone call, so...
That happens to my cell phone once in a while, where I don't feel it or hear it, and then all of a sudden I got a message, so I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with Verizon.
Okay.
So, I'm assuming you heard the news.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't officially started anything, but obviously Justin called me this morning and heard about it and was concerned. So in a nutshell, I don't know if you've talked to Justin or not, or what information you have, but in a nutshell, got information that there was an incident down in Vegas at a bar where there was police and or security involved, and something happened. I don't even know what the actual accusation was initially until I talked to Justin, and that you guys may or may not have used your police identity to kind of get out of trouble. But that was, in a nutshell, everything I've heard.
Because actually, Rick Hawley is the one who brought it to my attention the other day, saying that it got brought up in his IA thing at the OSP barracks the other day. And so, and that was the first time I heard about it. I said, what does this have to do with anything? It was such a non-issue, and it's like, and it gets brought up into his IA for something else. So I don't know who's bringing this to the table right now. I would really love to know that, and I would love to be able to have a conversation with that person, because this is such bullshit.
Understandable.
I mean, that's why I'm so upset. If it had any merit, like, I'd be like, all right, yeah, I freaking did it, or nothing even happened. So it's like, oh. So we go to Vegas on a trip, and then have contact with the security guard and a conversation with them, and they're like, all right, and then we're like, oh, we'll sleep. And they're like, oh, cool, yeah, I think it's bullshit too. And that was the end of our contact with them, and then there's no police contact. We're not getting detained. We're not getting... It was so stupid.
Well, yeah, and I don't have the exact quote, but what I just explained to you was everything that I had heard about it. That something happened, police or security were called or involved, and that there was some interaction, and that you guys... And again, no specific names. It wasn't Alex did this or Justin did that, but the group was involved, and that you guys got out of trouble because you said you were police officers or something to that effect. And so that's what was told to me. It was shared with me by one person. Unfortunately, because of the current circumstances, I'm really not in the position that I can share who that was. But
why not?
I assure you. Well,
how come that can't be disclosed? If
go ahead.
Some kind of information where they're spreading a rumor,
right?
A rumor, about something and police contact and stuff like that. I think we have every right to know who that person is, and I don't know, that's how it is. If you want us to be as transparent as possible about what happened, I want you guys to be as transparent with it as well, and say, hey, this is who said it, and it's like, alright, now I know why this person said it, because they have other motivation behind it, being Rick Hawley, he wants to bring everyone down with him about everything, and it's going to spiral out of control, and you know that.
It could.
You know that this is just the beginning of thing that he's going to throw so much shit at the wall to see what sticks. And it's like he just wants the department just so they have to do IA after IA to see if he's being treated fairly or not, and all this stuff. And that's the truth. And it's going to go so out of control that the whole department's going to be in disarray, and they're going to be like, I don't know, morale's going to be so down. It's stupid. It's stupid that we've even come to this.
Well, Alex, first of all, I will share with you whatever I can. I mean, obviously, there are circumstances where if you're told by, let's say your supervisor tells you you cannot share this information, then you would follow that direction, correct?
Well, if
it was a lawful order.
They feel like it's such a big thing that they need to go to the supervisor about, or you about.
Right.
Then obviously it's something they feel like they obviously know that they're going to probably be named in something like that. You know what I mean?
Right. And it's not, and I'm not saying that you will never find out who it is. The unfortunate part is today I cannot tell you who shared that information with me. I may be able to tell you next week. I may be able to tell you tomorrow. I may be able to tell you 3 weeks from now. But unfortunately, I cannot tell you who that person is today. And it has nothing to do with desire. It has nothing to do with trying to be honest or upfront. I've shared with you every gory detail of what I was told about it. And unfortunately, I cannot share who shared it with me today. I assure you, at some point, that will not be a problem, but it is a problem today. So, you know me hopefully well enough to know that I'm not trying to yank your chain or give you a hard time.
I'm not used to this stuff. I've never had to do one of these. I don't get in trouble. I don't do stupid stuff where I would involve myself in these types of things. So when it actually does happen, or somebody makes an accusation that I didn't do anything, but I was a part of something or around something that happened, it's like,
right.
What? Okay.
Well, and I wasn't.
And that's my goal in all this is to just be upfront. We'll contact you. We'll get this out on the table so that people can't think anything else. You know what I mean? It's like
absolutely. Not a bad idea.
So I don't know. I don't know where it goes from here or what. But
well, at this point, I wasn't prepared this morning when Justin called me. I wasn't starting an IA. I wasn't starting an inquiry. I had the basic information, but I've got some other things I'm trying to get done before I even look at that issue.
Yeah, you got bigger things,
but I do want to hear what happened. I am going to talk with all four of you. Obviously, I talked to Justin this morning, and if you're ready, willing, and able to tell me what happened now, that's fine. We can do it, in a few days. Like I said, I wasn't planning on doing it. I'll tell you right now, I want to get on the table because I don't want to. I'm just gonna be thinking about it, like, all weekend. So. Well, did you talk to Justin this morning? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I was the one who told them.
Oh, you're the one who told them.
Another person told me that this was someone. They heard a rumor, and I said, "Oh my gosh!"
Gotcha.
I told Justin, he said, "I'm calling them right on their next break." So.
Well, go ahead. Tell me what happened. My big questions are: did you identify yourselves as police officers and get out of whatever? That's a critical question I have.
I did not hear anyone bring up anything about being a police officer.
Okay.
So we were all, we didn't even know what happened. Justin was out talking to security. I come out there and kind of get a brief rundown of what happened. And they're like, we're going to check security tapes. And the guy's like, I looked at it. It wasn't a big deal. It's like, didn't even look like anything. But the girl was just kind of like, let's have him leave. So it's like, okay. And he said, and we're like, well, just leave. It's not a big deal. We'll just go to another place. So that was the end of it.
So no arguments, no yelling, screaming, no pushing
these guys were wanted to be our buds. Wasn't any of that.
So they did look at the tapes, and there was nothing. No big deal.
That was our understanding from the security guy we talked to.
Okay.
So.
And no one, you don't remember anybody making a big deal about you guys being the police officers, or?
Nope.
Okay. And just to confirm, this was at the New York Casino, Coyote Ugly.
Yep.
And Justin was up by the stage.
I didn't see any of that part, so.
But there was some, this was regarding him touching one of the dancers. That's what this was involving.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty much, unless there's something about that situation that...
No, it wasn't even, like I said, it wasn't even a big deal, but, whatever. I guess that's kind of natural with these things, that people are going to make stupid allegations against everyone, and kind of deflect their doing, so.
That can happen, and unfortunately, in our line of business, it does happen, like it or not. Typically we get it from the outside, sometimes we get it from the inside, as far as these things getting brought up. You mentioned, and I just want to make sure I understood, when you first got on the phone, you said something about you heard it from Rick?
Yeah. So, I don't know where this goes or whatever, but the other night, it was the day he got arrested.
Okay.
I get on my Facebook, and within a second, he gets on there and starts talking to me. And I'm just like, okay, and he was just being vague. But he said, oh, I'm fine, and I just want to let you know that I'm not going to say anything bad about you. And I'm just like, there really isn't anything bad. I saved my conversation with him. I was like, okay, I don't know. There's nothing really bad for you to share about me. And so I was just kind of being supportive, and just saying, yeah, it's kind of a tough thing, not getting into any kind of details, and did they treat you decent, and those types of things. And then say, yeah, what about this thing at Coyote Ugly? He said, yeah, they brought it up at that meeting today. And he said, I wasn't even there. I don't know why he was even brought up. And I said, who brought it up? He said, I don't know who brought it up, but she knows. But anyway.
So he said they brought it up at the meeting.
Yeah. Which I don't know if that's true. Were you there?
I was at the meeting, yes.
Was that brought up?
Yes, it was brought up.
Okay.
Very interesting.
And I haven't had much contact with Rick at all, and I don't want anything to do with that whole thing.
Right. Okay, well, given that information, Rick brought that up at the meeting.
Yeah, he's the one who told me. I have it in writing.
Yeah, he's the one that said that something happened down in Vegas during Desi's bachelor party, and police security were involved, and they got into some kind of trouble, and they got out of it because of their police role, or
So he brought it up.
Yep.
Dude, unreal.
Well,
I'll bring that conversation in for you.
It's sad because he's accurate, but the truth is he's the one that brought it up.
Yeah. So he's just trying. I don't know. I'm so disgusted by it.
Well, if you do, clearly that probably does have some bearing in this and in the other investigation. If you have a copy of that, I don't know anything about Facebook.
No, I just cut and paste our conversation and just saved it because I thought I know that guy's doing the same thing. So.
Yeah, if you have any of that, if you could get me a copy, that would be great.
Literally, that's been my only conversation for 2 months.
Yeah.
I didn't spark any conversation. He was the one who confronted me with it. I'm like, all right. So.
Well, there's no problem having a conversation with him. That's that's not a problem, but it's distressing. At least this part of the conversation. Anyway,
why is that distressing?
Well, if he's saying that it was brought up and that he didn't bring it up, that's distressing.
Yeah.
Because he did bring it up.
Yeah.
I have it on tape.
Yep.
There's no question about who brought it up.
Yeah.
So that's
now was a whole bunch of stuff brought up, or was it just that? You know what I mean? It's like, what?
Yeah, there was a couple things brought up, but this was the only thing to my memory that was new information.
But what is I don't know, I'm not familiar. What is the motivation in all this? What's the context of bringing stuff up like that. Oh, well, this happened, but nothing happened with it, or what is? I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, it's no different, I guess, than, when you interview suspects in any crime, when they want to deflect or minimize, there's an opportunity there to say, well, what about this? What about that? How come this didn't get looked into? How come I'm the only one? I mean, that's pretty common in our investigations, and although I can't 100% speak to somebody else's motivation, I guess I would liken it to the same situation,
it's just funny to me that he even gets on there and says, I'm not going to say anything about you, but then it's like, my name already got freaking brought up earlier in the day when you got arrested, you know what I mean? It's like...
If that's what he said, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened.
It's just unreal. Alright.
Well, the only thing I would caution you about, obviously you're free to do some things, but I would be real careful about getting upset with him over this.
No, I'm deleting all contact with him. I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, I just don't want you to end up in the middle of...
No, I have too much good stuff going on in my life, and I don't need to be anywhere near this. He's brought into this drama that he's created. No one else has created it. Rick Hawley has created this whole thing.
Well, like I said, it's discouraging when you hear what's absolutely not accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it's like he's in there saying this stuff to other law enforcement personnel, hearing my name, come up somehow, and it's like, okay, I'm really big on image, and the last thing I want is for other officers to not trust me or things like that. It's like that's not who I am, and that's not the kind of thing that I need to represent.
And in all fairness, I'd have to re-listen to the tape, but I don't believe, from my memory, I don't recall him naming names. It was just during a bachelor party in Vegas, 2 months ago, or it was very generic.
Regardless, he knows that you guys are going to go back and look to see. It's like, okay, there's only one group of us who would go there for, like people are going down there.
Correct, but I just want to I'm trying to be as upfront as I can with you. I'm not trying to sell anybody down the river here.
You have a lot of things that you need to worry about, things like that.
So,
you know the cans and cannot, and I don't.
Well, I would just be real cautious. I don't want, like I said, I don't want the pot to get stirred about he said, she said. The simple fact is, whether Rick or anybody else brings up an accusation, of course we're stuck looking into it. And, sometimes they're bogus. Sometimes they're partially accurate. Sometimes they're totally accurate. And although it might be unfortunate, we're going to have to jump through some hoops, and hopefully it won't harm people. Like in this case, hopefully this is no big deal, and we'll cover our bases, and we'll look into it and make a determination, and we'll keep going. But unfortunately, because of the line of business we're in, we're stuck, and it's a good thing, but we have to look into those things, and we have to make sure people are obeying the laws and following policy and not doing inappropriate things. And I appreciate you calling me, I really do.
Yeah, you bet.
And I
couldn't sit in class any longer thinking about that, you know what I mean? It's like...
Well, and I'm sorry that I a little reluctant to share some things with you, but again, it's a unique situation. Anytime we have a criminal investigation going on and an IA, it's a little different rules and circumstances there. So, I guess my request for you again, please don't share a lot of these details with people. Let us work through them. We're not trying to stir the pot, but unfortunately we do have to look into these things, and get an answer to them, and we're not going to wrongly accuse people. If you've done something wrong, we'll address it. If you didn't do anything wrong, we're going to move on, and we got other things to do. So
I'm not worried about it. So
don't lose sleep over it. And if I have any other questions, I'll give you a call. But I think. So you didn't witness any of this. You just witnessed the conversation outside with the security guy.
Yeah.
Okay. And Justin was decent. He wasn't a jerk.
No, yeah. No one did anything that was like, oh my God, we're gonna get in trouble for this.
Okay.
Not at all. It was actually a friendly conversation with these people. It wasn't even. I don't know. It wasn't anything, but.
Okay. Do you know what day it was?
I can find out. I have no idea.
It looks like it was the last weekend in July. Does that sound right?
Friday night. I don't know.
Okay. Okay, it's not life or death, but if you do remember the date, just let me know. And then also, if you have any of that conversation the other day with Rick, I'd love to have a copy of it.
Yep, you bet.
Okay. Thanks, Alex.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Time is 1:02 p.m. and I just finished talking with Alex Johnson.